Hey guys, welcome back to BackPocketGameReviews, and today's video is going to be about the worst GameStop managers. So there's two of them, two managers that I'm going to talk about. We're going to give them code names. The first one's name is going to be W. We're just going to call him W. So this guy was extremely cocky, arrogant. He literally thought being a GameStop manager was like being a rock star. Like, he thought he was the coolest person in the world. He would go to, like, the manager expos and talk about how he hit some guy at the nose at the manager expo, but he's so tight with the district manager that he won't let him go, and yada, yada, yada. This guy was a pretty big D-bag for the most part. And the funny part is actually my favorite store manager, the one I'm still friends with. He worked for him too, so I mean, he's got similar stories with this guy. He's very full of himself, very arrogant. Everything was, he thought he was the coolest thing since sliced bread. Drove like a really big truck. He would take up 2 parking spots outside of work because he thought he was so cool and his truck was his baby. He used to talk all the time about how he cheated on his wife too, even though she was pregnant. He said, oh yeah, I started cheating on her after she miscarried. Yeah, way to sound like a piece of scum. But another thing he did that was pretty craptacular. So I used to smoke cigarettes pretty regularly, and there were certain days at GameStop I would have to open and close the store, and no one else would come in. I would literally be there by myself from open to close. So 10 a.m. all the way till 9 p.m. and plus some, so 9 to get the store ready to open at 10, and then 9:30 to get the store shut down after. They were pretty long days, especially if I forgot to pack my lunch or something. Sometimes like I'd have a friend or someone pop in and I'd be like, hey, you want to run to the food court for me? And then I'd eat behind the counter, which, mind you, I'm sure my district manager would have had a cow about, but sorry, I'm here open to close. No break, no lunch, no nothing. But one day I was like, man, you know, it'd be really nice to have someone cover me on this day just so I could pop out and have a cigarette, like, you know, later in the day. And he's like, oh, just do what I do, smoke in the bathroom. We're in a mall. So eventually another store and the assistant manager was a great guy, super nerdy. The one that we had at the time, he wore like glasses and like a safari shirt. He looked like he literally was about to come up to you and go, pick a starting Pokemon. His hair had like this weird part. His glasses were nerdier than mine, and my glasses are pretty nerdy. He was a weird guy, super nice guy, one of the hardest workers I've ever worked with. He is not the bad guy in this. And he comes up to me one day and he goes, bathroom smells like smoke. And I was like, yeah, W told me that I should smoke in the bathroom. I was like, I didn't, but he told me he does. Well, lo and behold, recently I found out from my other friend who was his assistant manager at the store that he normally works at, because he was my store manager too, so he's only in my store for 2 days a week, and at his store for 3 days a week. Store manager 2 runs 2 stores because one of the stores can't support a store manager's salary. So he, at his store, after the store manager 2 thing failed, right around after they'd closed the store that I used to work at. I was no longer with the company at this point, so this is within the last year or so that this happened. He apparently got caught stealing from the store. And when I say stealing, it was pretty intricate the way he was doing it. So as I said, we move out defectives. He would defect stuff out and mark it as damaged, like non-returnable. They easily said he probably got away with over $10,000 worth of stuff. And he would just leave it in there until he was ready to get it out of the store. Yeah, my buddy was the one who caught him, and apparently he texted several other people going, how should I, what should I do? And darn wrong. Yeah, I would probably ask a similar question. So that's the #1 worst manager. He was pretty bad. Number 2, I don't really remember this guy's name, so we're just gonna call him Butterball because he was short and kind of chubby. So he's Butterball. So Butterball, I was going on my honeymoon, and you know, the manager had at the time, his name was, we'll call him K. He was very nice. But I was going on my honeymoon, and I was like, oh, I don't know when I'll be able to work next. When I get back from the honeymoon, I'll drop in and give you my availability. I just got to see what, because I was working 2 jobs, you know, I was working where I work now, and I was just working GameStop 1 or 2 days a week here and there for extra cash, and the discount. But, so I stop in, my other manager, Kay, was not there. It was Butterball. And I was like, oh, I guess you're the new manager. And he goes, I am. And I was like, I'm Nick. I'm one of your employees. Mind you, I'd been at GameStop for like 4.5 years at this point. So this is shortly before I even wound up leaving. And his first words out of his mouth are, you're not one of my employees. I requested to have you all let go. If you're not my hire and you don't have open availability, I don't want you working here. Cool. So I called the district manager as I was leaving the store, and verbatim he goes, well, I'll go ahead and transfer you out of stores. District manager wasn't very fond of this guy, to say the least. So apparently they had to move him out of his old district, because I know people at other stores, and I was talking to someone at the Canal Winchester store, and apparently that used to be his store. He was handcuffed and carried out and fired by GameStop after being handcuffed and carried out, but yet was working at my Tuttle store. So what I found out is he was handcuffed because some girl's parents had gotten very upset because she was 16 years old, and this guy who was probably my age, so he probably had a good 10 years on her at the time, if not more, was getting handcuffed and carried out, and well, she didn't press the charges. The parents called and said it was statutory, but she was okay with it, and since she didn't want to press charges, they couldn't press charges. But so he tried to sue GameStop for letting him go. They settled by rehiring him and then moving him to this district. This is the one time I will tell you GameStop should have stuck to their guns. This guy was a complete and utter chode. Literally, he was the biggest chode I think I've ever met. He was rude, he was impolite, none of the store managers liked him. And no, I'm wrong. Store managers have kind of like a clique kind of thing. Like, there's different groups and they all hang out and yada yada yada. I don't really fall into that. It's not really my thing. I'm friends with pretty much everyone that's not a terrible human being. And this guy was a terrible human being. So I vape. I like my vape. But he is one of those obnoxious people that would carry it around everywhere and vape inside, and his sounded like a jet engine taking off. And he's like, oh yeah, it's he's also a PC Master Race kind of guy. It's like, dude, if you're a PC Master Race kind of guy, why are you working at GameStop? Let's face it, it's not like you're buying your games here. So, those are the 2 worst managers I ever got to deal with in a GameStop. Terrible human beings, terrible people. Every interaction with them was just a nightmare. But guys, be sure to drop a like on this video. Let me know down below if you've had a similar manager experience or a worse manager. Whether it be GameStop or another company, I would like to hear about it. Yeah, so let me know down below. We can have a chat, a little chit chat. As I said, I respond to almost every comment. And be sure to subscribe for more content, guys. Hopefully we can keep this channel growing, and we can get even bigger from where we are now, and this community will evolve. Not like a Pokemon evolve, but, you know, like evolve. Like, get bigger, and awesomer, and even better. But, see you soon, guys.